Children, come back to online classes. Today we are going to see the remaining part of the chapter number 5 of civics. Today let us understand what we mean by appellate system by tracking a case. State Delhi administration versus Lakshman Kumar and others in 1985 from the lower courts to the Supreme Court. In February 1980, Lakshman Kumar married 20-year-old Sudha Goyal and they lived in a flat in Delhi with Lakshman's brothers and their families. On 2nd December 1980, Sudha died in hospital due to burns. Her family filed a case in court. When this case was heard in the trial court, 4 of her neighbors were called in as witnesses. They stated that on the night of December 1st, they had heard Sudha scream and had forced their way into Lakshman's flat. There they saw Sudha standing with her sari in flames. They extinguished the fire by wrapping Sudha in a gunny bag and a blanket. Sudha told them that her mother-in-law Shakuntala had poured kerosene oil on her and that her husband Lakshman had lit the fire. During the trial, members of Sudha's family and a neighbor stated that Sudha had been subjected to torture by her in-laws and that they were demanding more cash, a scooter and a fridge on the birth of the first child. As part of their defense, Lakshman and his mother stated that Sudha's sari had accidentally caught fire while she was heating milk. On the basis of this and other evidence, the trial court convicted Lakshman, his mother Shakuntala and his brother-in-law Subhash Chandra and sentenced all 3 of them to death. In November 1983, the three accused went to the High Court to appeal against this verdict of the trial court. The High Court, after hearing the arguments of all the lawyers, decided that Sudha had died due to an accidental fire caused by the kerosene stove. Lakshman, Shakuntala and Subhash Chandra were released. The above High Court judgment deeply troubled women and they held demonstration and filed a separate appeal against this High Court decision in the Supreme Court through the Indian Federation of Women's Lawyers. In 1985, the Supreme Court heard this appeal against the acquittal of Lakshman and the 2 members of his family. The Supreme Court heard the arguments of the lawyers and reached a decision that was different from that of the High Court. They found Lakshman and his mother guilty but acquitted the brother-in-law Subhash because they did not have enough evidence against him. The Supreme Court decided to send the accused to prison for life. So children, this was the case Delhi administration versus Lakshman Kumar and others from the lower court to the Supreme Court. Now let us see what are the different branches of legal system. The above case of the dowry death falls within what is considered a crime against society and is a violation of criminal law. In addition to criminal law, the legal system also deals with civil law cases. You have read in chapter 4 how a new civil law was passed in 2006 to protect women against domestic violence. So let us see the difference between civil law and a criminal law. Criminal law first, let us see. Criminal law deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offences. For example, theft, harassing a woman to bring more dowry, murder. It usually begins with the lodging of an first information report, that is FIR, with the police who investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. If found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail and also fined. Then, civil law deals with any harm or injury to rights of individuals. For example, disputes relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, rent matters, divorce cases, etc. A petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. In a rent matter, either the landlord or tenant can file a case. The court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, in case between a landlord and a tenant, the court can order the flat to be vacated and pending rent to be paid. In this above paragraph, it is mentioned that the above case of the dowry death falls within what is considered a crime against society and is a violation of criminal law. Here, dowry death. Dowry means here an amount of property or money brought by a bride to her husband on their marriage. Then again, in the difference between, we have seen in civil law, first point, divorce cases. Divorce means a divorce is the formal ending of a marriage by law code. A divorce is the formal ending of a marriage by law code. A divorce happens after a husband and wife decide not to live together anymore. Next topic is, does everyone have access to the courts? In principle, all citizens of India can access the court in this country. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the court. The courts play a very important role in protecting our fundamental rights. If any citizen believes that their rights are being violated, then they can approach the court for justice to be done. While the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for a vast majority of the poor in India. Legal procedures involve a lot of money and paperwork, as well as take up a lot of time. For a poor person who cannot read and whose family depends on a daily wage, the idea of going to court to get justice often seems very difficult. In response to this, the Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigation, or PIL, to increase access to justice. It allowed any individual or organization to file a PL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. The legal process was greatly simplified, and even a letter or a telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court could be treated as a PL. In the early years, PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues, such as rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work conditions and securing the release of prisoners in Bihar who had been kept in jail even after their punishment term was complete. Did you know that the midday meal that children now receive in government and government aided schools is because of a PIL? Now let us understand how this came about. For the common person, access to the courts is access to justice. The courts exercise a crucial role in interpreting the fundamental rights of citizens, and as you saw in the above case, the court interpreted Article 21 of the Constitution on the right to life to include the right to food also. They therefore ordered the state to take certain steps to provide food for all, including the midday meal. Let me tell you about the midday meal scheme here. Midday meal scheme is the scheme in which the school children have provided the food in the schools. It is provided to increase the literacy rate in our country, and to reduce poverty in the country. It is also provided to provide education to the poor children of the families who are below poverty line. However, there is also court judgments that people believe work against the best interest of the common person. For example, activists who work on issues concerning the right to shelter and housing for the poor believe the recent judgment on eviction are a far cry from earlier judgments. Eviction here means removal of a persons from their homes, while recent judgments tend to view the slum dwellers as an encroacher in the city. Earlier judgments. Here, some slum means a densely populated, usually urban area, run down housing, poverty, inhabited by poor people. A slum is an area of city where living conditions are very bad and where the houses are in bad condition. Common person access to justice is the inordinately long number of years that court take to hear a case. The phrase justice delayed is justice denied is often used to characterize this extended time period that courts take. So, firstly, we have learned that while the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for vast majority of poor in India. Many poor people they don't want to go to court because it involve a lot of money and paperwork as well as it take a lot of time also. And another issue is that common person's access to justice is that they think that courts take a number of years to hear a case. However, in spite of this, there is no denying that the judiciary has played a crucial role in democratic India, serving as a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature as well as in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. The members of the Constituent Assembly has the members of the Constituent Assembly had quite correctly envisioned a system of courts with an independent judiciary as a key feature of our democracy. Common person access to justice is the inordinately long number of years that court take to hear a case. The phrase justice delayed is justice denied is often used to characterize this extended time period that courts take. So, firstly, we have learned that while the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for vast majority of poor in India. Many poor people they don't want to go to court because it involve a lot of money and paperwork as well as it take a lot of time also. And another issue is that common person's access to justice is that they think that courts take a number of years to hear a case. However, in spite of this, there is no denying that the judiciary has played a crucial role in democratic India, serving as a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature as well as in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. The members of the Constituent Assembly has the members of the Constituent Assembly had quite correctly envisioned a system of courts with an independent judiciary as a key feature of our democracy. This paragraph, it is said that the judiciary had played a crucial role in democratic India. It has a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature as well as in the protecting fundamental rights of the citizens. So, the judiciary, what is an independent judiciary? We have seen that one of the on one aspect of this independence is the separation of powers, is a key feature of the constitution. This means here is that other branches of government, the legislature and the executive cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. So children, for today's class this much only. Tomorrow we'll see the new chapter. Thank you.